Alright, guys, so I've been asked to explain what dual tracking is for guitars and just kind of how it differs from single tracking versus quad tracking and all that. Uh, Dual tracking guitars is essentially just taking the same guitar part, recording it twice, and then panning them left and right. So for say my rhythm guitar, you only got one rhythm part, but you record it twice. So you've got rhythm right, rhythm left. Same thing with your leads, same thing with any other stuff. I even do my solos uh, dual track. Um, I know a lot of people put those just kind of center, and that's fine. Um, a lot of my solos are pretty simple, so not a lot of improvisation. So I'm able to dual track a lot of my solos. Um, the song that I'm gonna kind of demo this on is a cover of Audioslave's Like a Stone that I've been working on. So let me just play a little bit of the song and just kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Alright, so by dual tracking the guitars, I'm able to give it a wider stereo sound. The way I do it, I guess, is kind of unorthodox. I don't see a lot of people doing it this way. I'm sure that there are. Just most of the people I talk to do hard right, hard left pan. The way I do mine, like I've said, I've got my rhythm right, rhythm left, lead right, lead left, my lead effects right, lead effects left, and then my right and left solo tracks. So, four distinct guitar parts, eight different tracks. And what I do with these is I actually pull them. Oh, hell. That's why that was sounding weird. There you go. I actually pull them 85% panned. The reason I do that is kind of hard to explain. It's a visual thing that is in my head. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm creating a valley for the rest of like my bass and my vocals and my drums, which the drums are panned anyway, but your kick, snare, um, and other certain elements are going to be more centered than, say like your ride or your floor tom. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm creating a valley with my guitars for the rest of this to sit inside. Um, so, like, I've got my guitars and everything out here, but there's a little bit there left in the center for everything else to kind of sit on top of, with the majority of the guitars sitting on the outside. Um, like I said, it's just kind of how I visualize things. Um, so for each different guitar part, I then run my tracks down to a bus. So like I've got a bus for my guitar solo, and I mix both my left and my right tracks on my bus. Same with my rhythm. I don't have much mixing on this particular track. But so like I've got my rhythm bus, I've got my lead bus, effects lead bus, and my solo bus, and each one of these, like I said, just encompasses both of these tracks. Now, like I said, the reason you do that is to create just a natural stereo sound. One of the questions that I hear a lot as far as dual tracking is, well, why can't you take your guitar track, copy, paste it, and just do it that way? And the reason you can't do it that way is because you'll run into phasing issues. And phasing, what it essentially is when two waveforms that are exactly the same basically cancel each other out. Audio is a weird thing. You get two waveforms that are precisely the same, and they deaden each other. That's actually how noise canceling headphones work. They take the ambient noise, the outside noise, whatever, and they flip the phase, basically causing it to cancel out whatever you're hearing outside the headphones. So let's, just to kind of demonstrate this, let's take these two tracks and we will put them right here. Now, we've got two different guitar tracks. All right, I'm playing the same thing on these parts, but there's differences in the waveforms. There's, like I said, I'm playing the same thing, but there's different little nuances in, like, my hand position, or the way the strings are resonating, what the guitar amp is doing, how the speakers are resonating, even the environment and the microphone and everything. There's just a bunch of different little nuances that create, like, you zoom in here and they're not perfectly lined up. They're two different sounds, even though I'm playing the same thing. So what you have this way is alright, and so let's take this out. We'll copy that and move it right down here. And just for demonstration purposes, there we go. Alright, so now what I have are the same exact track. You see all the waveforms match up exactly. And what you get out of that is this. Versus so, yeah, I mean, dual tracking just gives it a better sound. I know some folks say, oh, well, just invert the phase. Okay, well, let's try that. Now, where are you? Mix tool, invert phase. There we go. Now you've got an actual stereo sound, but it sounds like complete ass. Again, versus it thins it out really bad. So take that trash off of there. Um, Quad tracking is essentially the same thing, just instead of a rhythm right, rhythm left, I would have like a rhythm right 1, rhythm right 2, rhythm left 1, and rhythm left 2. And I would do that for all these different guitar parts. Um, and the way I've seen some people do it, they would have their rhythm right 1 panned 100% right, the rhythm right 2 panned like 50 or 40 or 60, just kind of somewhere in that range. Pan it, right that amount, and then do the same thing, just ad nauseum. Personally, I'm too lazy for that, mainly because I tend to track a lot of different guitar parts. Not so much with this, just for simplicity's sake. But yeah, dual tracking guitars is really a handy way to get a wide stereo sound, and really in this day and age, especially in genres like rock and metal, it's pretty much the industry standard. I can't really think of the last time I heard a song using modern metal production that wasn't dual tracked. Um, so that's essentially what it is.